Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Halvanus video, and we're going to be going over what tanks feel like, more specifically the Paladin tank. And holy shit does it feel awesome. I mean, as for holding aggro, in this one it's kind of hard to do that because this Army of the Dead isn't glyphed, and or the glyph has been removed. I'm not quite sure if it's been removed or not, but yeah, there's not much I can do. I can taunt every once in a while, but why would I taunt when the armies are taking the hits for me? So, really, there's not too much to talk about in the terms of this fight, and I'm not going to be talking about the fights themselves at the moment. Just going to be going over what I feel like as a prop pally in this 6.0 patch. I feel, and to stop, I'm just going to come right out and say, I feel fucking powerful. As a tank, normally I felt like, okay, yeah, my damage is okay, but I'm not contributing a whole hell of a lot. There's not a lot of things that need to be, worked out as a tank. You just hit stuff and hold aggro, and that's really about it. In this expansion, though, just in this patch, I feel like I'm doing more damage. Now, relatively, I know it's because the pruning happened and all the abilities that I thought that I needed were taken away. A lot of those, there's some things that would have been useful. I do not like the fact that Righteous Fury has been gone, but, I mean, you still have I think you can still pop the wings somehow. There's, like, a glyph or something for it. And there's a few other things. Sacred Shield is actually very powerful. It's the difference between life and death sometimes. I know that recently I was doing, and I know it's transmog runs, but like, I was using the pre-made group system to get into transmog runs, just to get to them quick and have them have help with doing them and stuff, and just seeing if I can get some pieces of gear. I was finding that I was like one of the only people that would survive. For instance, the mage in what was it? Bastion of Twilight. The mage was dying to mechanics, a lot of mechanics. Dragon's Breath, things on the floor, fire on the floor. It was all dangerous to him, even though he's level 90, and he had decent gear. I think he was a little bit more geared than I was. Unfortunately, he went in thinking it was going to be a cakewalk, and ended up dying. I survived and ended up having to solo most of the content. Now, I am in no way complaining about that. It's pretty decent to be able to do that, even if it's in a low level content. As for this, this content, the first run I did of it, I was told I did very good tanking it, only because I think it might have been more because the guy who was trying to be a healer actually wasn't a healer. He ended up being elemental instead of resto, and he just queued as a healer to get the healer queue. Now, I don't know. I think they tried to fix that you can't queue unless you are actually that spec. I hope that they do that, because that is definitely one thing that I do not like. If they're going to be doing that, then what's to stop that from happening in a group where you're actually wanting to do experience and learn fights and try to heal stuff the correct way. Now, a lot of other things I see is I'm going to have to be doing a lot of looking around and avoiding. There's stuff on the ground now, and it's really going to hurt me if I stand into it. I actually think coming up here I got distracted, and I actually do end up dying. And it was just an instantaneous, like just that, one hit, and I was pretty much toast. I think it's up here on this pull. There was something I didn't avoid, or I just got overwhelmed, but let's see here. I believe it's right about here. Something hits me, and I go right down. It was an instantaneous hit. Right there. You see that? My health just dropped. And it wasn't from not getting heals. It wasn't from anything like that. It was the fact that I just stood there in that, and I dropped. So, you're going to want to be moving on this, a lot. You're going to want to be watching your feet. Another thing, especially for tanks, and I'm definitely one who does it myself. You are gonna want to make sure that you have your shield not hitting a lot of targets that if it's multiple bosses, because if there's something that you're gonna have to, if there's something you're gonna have to do interrupts on, you are gonna be screwed because the interrupts are now on a diminishing returns system. So if you keep constantly interrupting one target for one thing, it is going to wreck you, and you're not going to be able to actually interrupt that target when you need to. So, for instance, if a boss has a throw, and that throw is going to one-shot a healer, you got to make sure that you're doing that when it's needed for the healer. If it's going on to the second tank or something, that's when you can let it go. The healers will be able to heal through that, but it's going to one-shot a healer, but it won't one-shot a tank. Let the tank take it, and then let the and then block it for the healer. Because if you block it too many times, so tank gets it twice, you block it twice, healer gets it third time, it's gonna have like a 75% chance not to freaking interrupt. And then once it goes to a certain point, it's not gonna interrupt at all. So diminishing is definitely back on that stuff. You're gonna want to watch that. And really, I don't find too much else different with the tanking. I find I'm just more powerful. I survive a little bit more, but I have to make sure my awareness is heightened when I am tanking, because if I don't, one wrong move and I'm dead. And then the wipes happen, and then people blame people, and then people have a bad time. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with the rest of this fight. The final boss, I skipped the trash on it because it's just long. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.